for today is to attempt something really risky, and that is we are planning on moving our fruit trees from our current property over to the new property. And just moving fruit trees in general and getting up the roots and stuff disturbs their roots. Transplanting anything, there's always a risk that it could die. And right now it's not a great time to move my trees because they've already started to leaf out. And the best time to move your trees would be in late winter when they're still completely dormant. But we had just closed on our land in the middle of March, and they were already blooming at that point, and I did not have a chance to move them before they broke dormancy. So as you saw earlier, we started out by using shovels and figured out where the roots were, but we found out quickly that the shovels easily damaged some of the roots, and so Cameron switched over to using his hands just to push that dirt away and expose the roots so that nothing got damaged. And we tried to preserve as many roots as we possibly could. Even the really long ones we didn't cut. We would have taken it with the dirt if we could have, but with a tree this large, that it was just completely not feasible. We didn't have a tractor and we didn't have the capability to take the tree with the soil, so we just took them completely bare root. When you're moving bare root fruit trees, it's super important to keep the roots moist so that they don't dry out. So what I'm doing here is I am wetting down some twin pitted sheets to wrap around the base of each tree as we move them. We were moving them on a flatbed trailer, and so it was really easy for them to dry out. And I ended up wrapping each tree in the sheet, and then later on I did actually end up adding some towels around, wet towels around the trees as well. So as we were driving over to the land, I told Cameron to drive as slow as he possibly could. So we maxed out at about 40 miles per hour, even though it was a 55 zone. And the trees made it, even though they looked a little sad. That's our crabapple tree right there. That one had a lot of blooms on it and the most leaves of all the trees. It was the most bloomed out, and so it took the most shock of all the trees. And you can see right here we're putting in one of our larger apple trees. So we made custom spots for all of the roots, and then I took care to stake in each of the trees so that it wouldn't blow over in the wind. It was especially windy on the day that we were putting them in. When you're transplanting anything, it's always a good idea to transplant on a day that is cooler and cloudier. And so the day that we had transplanted these trees, it started out cool and cloudy, and that was the forecast as well. But as you can see, it changed to sunny and super windy, which is terrible for transplanting. It actually warmed up as well. By the time that it had warmed up and gotten sunny, we had already removed all the trees, so we just went ahead and brought them up and planted them anyway. You can see what I'm talking about when I said we made custom spots for the roots here. They are digging a line specifically for that extra long root.
There we go, yeah. Wow. Okay, world's strongest 9-year-old over here. Look at that. Okay.
After we finished staking in each of the trees, we fenced around each one to protect from deer. They're a big problem in our area. So we put a 25-foot long piece of fence and wrapped it around each tree. Later on, we will need to come back and then around the base of each tree add a thick layer of mulch so that the grass doesn't encroach on the trees.